go away with you. Forever in my mind, only you. The pieces in my life run away with you. You're my first love. You're my first love. You're my first love. You're my first love.
Okay, hopefully we are back with you live from Monza, and with myself, Nick Rowland, and Lewis McBride and Jarko Micken after fixing the issues we had with the capture card, I believe it was there. So, Lewis, we've already progressed, and we are now into the qualifying 2 session, and the first man on track is Ivar Calamies.
Yep, he is actually on his lap at the moment, heads down towards the Ascari chicane. But it was quite a close top 10. I think we had pretty much everyone within about 0.6 of a second. So, you know, we all love a good close qualifying session. Hopefully we're going to get one now as well, as they're all just heading out for their laps.
Nature of this wonderful 4.2 kilometre circuit around Monza, and Ivar Calamies is the first one that will break the time being to be the first one to do a qualifying 2 lap. It's a 1:22.883. To read through the other people that have progressed, the next man on track will be Eduard Malorki for Twister Racing, Dion Kostadinov, followed by Jack Keithley, Philip Pushka, Ernie Simoncic, Yannick Lapchin, Jeffrey Rietveld, Samuel Lebert, and the fastest man with the 21.3 was Bono Huis. So now that Calamies has finished and completed his lap, we should be momentarily getting Edward Maliki start his lap.
Kostadinov out.
Yeah, Maliki decided to sit out qualifying 2, which means you have fresh tyres for the start of the race, the back end of the top 10. So it's Kostadinov that's gone to the hot lap this time.
Yep, I distinctly remember Malorki having not a very good race yesterday, from what I remember anyway. Who knows what happened. But no, I do distinctly remember that he was one of the people that I was going to go was a top runner, but things didn't go quite well for him. Hopefully it will in the World Championship, despite him not going out to set his lap. However, we do have Dion Kostadinov out on track, and things have been looking okay for him. But this is the one thing that I really don't like is hot lapping. It's not the fact that I don't like watching it, because it's extremely exciting, you know, just to have one lap where you've got to get everything right. It's just doing it is remarkably difficult. Getting used to doing it again and again and again. But you know, you only get one chance to do it when you've got the moment, and everything has to be absolutely perfect. And it's quite a difficult thing to do. But Dion Kostadinov crossed the line to do a 1:22.444, and he actually goes first. And the next one is Jack Keithley.
Yeah, it's a very, very challenging task to do one lap worth of qualifying, especially going from the Q1 trim into the Q2 trim, depending on also the tyres that you select at the start of the race. So it can be a very, very challenging time going to qualifying 2, and it's why these guys are the World Championship drivers. But now it's the turn of Jack Keithley in his GT Omega, been showing some good pace as of late, and his one lap performance already qualifying 1 was very, very strong as he comes down to the Retta Filio, which is the first chicane, if you like, on this Monza track, accelerating away towards Curva Grande, up into 6th gear just as he gets to the midpoint. It will flick up to 7th, he does indeed. 7th gear, he'll come underneath the bridge, the old bridge, towards the Variante della Roggia chicane, and he's 3/10 off Dean Kostadinov. And he got a little bit deep going through Roggia there, into the first Lesmo. 4th, down into 3rd gear, holds a tight apex, runs it a little bit wide, almost too wide there, as he comes towards Lesmo 2. Huge dip in the circuit there, really cascades away. The camber change is pretty huge there, and the car will bottom out heavily as we come towards the infamous Ascari section. 7/10 off, 3rd gear, flicks it down, holds a tight line through the mid part, and a good on the exit, hard on the power on the exit as well for Jack Keithley there. No oversteer, very easy to oversteer through there due to the nature of the bumps through that midpoint. As he comes down to the final corner, Curva Parabolica, throws the car in 3rd gear, hard on the power on the exit, slap of oversteer, controls it very, very well, goes to the centre of the track for the best drive, coming for the line now, and it is a 1:23.622, 1.1 seconds off. You would have to believe there, Lewis, that is the difference between hard and soft tyres.
Sounds about right, doesn't it? I mean, people always try, or some try to do something different in qualifying just so that in the race you have maybe a slight edge. This is the thing, when you learn how to do hot lapping and things like that, and when you learn all about the qualifying sessions, then you get to play with it a bit more, and you get to learn what you're going to do. And from what I've seen, Filip Puška's not going out either, so it's Jede Simoncic who's currently going round, and he is just going around the Curva Grande now, and he's actually on his hot lap even. But yeah, I would assume that Jack Keithley is on the harder of the compound tyres, otherwise he's just dropped 1.1 through some odd driving, because it looked like a fairly clean lap, and Jene is going through the Lesmos, probably my least favourite part of this track, purely for the fact that I can't do them. I'm very bad at driving them, and that dip in the second Lesmo, that will be one that can catch out drivers very quickly in the race. I mean, if you have a slight lapse of concentration, that will take you out, because it is a really extreme dip. Through Ascari, he's taken probably a bit too much curb on the entrance, but gets it all lined up for the best drive down the back straight and towards the Parabolica. Quite a tricky corner, but you've just got to time it right with your acceleration out of it, and then you should be okay all the way down the straight. And it sounds like he's got it right. Heads straight over to the left part of the track and then brings it in, and to cross the line he'll be doing a 1:22.353, which puts him P1.
Okay, so we move on to the next man. This is Yannick Lachin that's now on track for Parti Pescara, coming down to the first section, the Rettifilio. Now, unfortunately, because of the problems we had with the qualifying one, I wasn't able to give the news, but the main bit of news that's come out is that Morgan Moran has now retired completely, we believe, for the rest of the season. So Morgan Moran will not be racing Bono Gris as we've come to get used to over the past few races. So there will be no Morgan Moran for the remaining part of the season. So Bono Gris's likely protagonist will come from his own team, most likely, but we've already seen Simoncic has put in a good fight, and there's a few other drivers up there that seem to have taken the fall against Bono Gris, especially in qualifying. Qualifying has not been always the strongest point, but come race, it's Gris that's had the most consistency. So on this lap for Yannick Lachin at the moment, he's 300 up through sector 1, coming to the sector 2 split now, he's 800 down as he hits the Ascari, going through Ascari. He's got a little bit of oversteer in the mid part, ran quite wide on exit as well, coming towards Curva Parabolica. In 7th gear, he's hitting 339 kph there, that was, going into Curva Parabolica. On the exit, 4th, 5th gear, and he'll drive directly for the line now. How's this been in this final sector? And he's a 10th off to 122.482, and that puts him 3rd.
Yeah, but that is a nice close quali for now. I mean, top 3 separated by a 10th of a second, and Jeffrey Reichelt is about to start his lap even. And so it's an interesting thing about this with Morgan Moran and not appearing what we do assume is for the rest of the season. And it is a shame because right at the beginning of the season I was hoping for a nice close championship fight, but unfortunately he wasn't quite there. He's not had the best of seasons as Morgan. He did win a race though, but I think that was China. I know it was a race that Bono wasn't there, but we have had 4 different winners. The only thing is that Bono has won 6 of the races so far this year. And Jeffrey Rival getting his lap just about right, brings it down to the apex of the first Lesmo and goes quite wide. You've got to watch out for gravel trap on the outside because that's also another killer. Gets the second Lesmo just right, and abusing the curbs as much as you dare can give you a slight amount of time. But through the first sector, he was actually purple. I didn't point that out, but nevertheless, that's what I do. Totally forget to point some things out. Down towards the Parabolica he goes, with plenty of time left, and only 3 more drivers to set times in this session around the Parabolica C. Abusing the curbs as much as possible, goes to the outside. I think he may have had to lift a bit early then, so that could cost him time down this straight, and he does a 1. Well, I'd say it was going to cost him time, but he takes P1 with a 1:22.341.
Yeah, just about took pole position there, the provisional pole position. That was a bit of a moment he had me in Parabolica. It ran very deep into the corner, was very wide on exit, got out of throttle and back onto it as quick as he possibly could. He did lose time, but it was still enough, thanks to his middle sector, to take provisional pole position. So, next up we have the Twister Racing driver of Samuel Libert, as he has just gone through Rettifilio, although he had a big slice of the second curve there that I think actually unsettled the car and unbalanced the car coming towards the first sector, and it has indeed. It's a 10.5 off as he goes over the De La Rocha chicane, coming up to Lesmo 1. Let's see if he can try and recover some of that time in the mid-sector. Third gear up to 4th, up to 5th. He'll double downshift, does he? Yes, he does. Third gear, again, through the dip, hard back on the power on the exit of Lesmo 2 there. So that was a nice exit he had for Samuel Libert. He's like 10.5 off what Jeffrey Rietveld's done. Has he pulled any of that back? Oh, he has indeed. He's 100th up on Rietveld's time as he goes into Ascari. And on the exit of Ascari, that's a beautiful exit he's had there as well. Coming towards the final section now. This is where Parabolica is where Rietveld had his issues. So you have to believe that Libert gets Parabolica right. This is going to be a very, very good lap. Oh, sweeps it in third gear. Back on the power nice and early. Doesn't run it too wide. Doesn't need to run it too wide either. As he drives hard for the line now, it is going to be a 1:22.1, and it's nearly 2 tenths quicker than Rietveld takes pole position.
Impressive time, especially considering the first sector wasn't all that great, but this could be anything down to setup. But that was a great lap, and the only person who can now displace him is the person who's just starting a lap, and the person who I would tip for a pole position. Unsurprisingly, it is Bono Huis. He breaks down into the first chicane, gets the front right a bit locked up, but everything's turned in fine. And then accelerates down towards the Curva Grande. A high-speed right-hander. Nice, take it pretty much completely flat out, and if you're not, there's something seriously wrong with your car and you break down into De La Rocha chicane. Finding a braking spot there can be quite difficult. And Nick, what was the split through the first sector? Because I didn't have that.
The split through the first sector, oh look at that. It's over a tenth, nearly 2 tenths up, in fact, going through sector 1, and it's been a nice sweeping section through the Lesmo 2 for Bono Huis here. Nearly 2 tenths up in sector 1 as he comes through underneath the bridge and up towards Ascari, and we will hit that sector 2 beam. Oh, he's lost time in that mid-sector. Libert's middle sector was superb. He's 4,000th of a second off as he's going through Ascari now. This is going to be Huis against Libert currently. Let's see who gets the better sector 3, and we've already seen that Libert was very strong through Parabolica. How late is Huis going to go? Goes late on the brakes, drags it into third gear, a little bit too much on the curb than ideal, and he's on the power a little bit later, but he's kept a tighter line. Interesting, he's kept a very, very tight line there as Bono Huis, and it's a 10th off. He's not done it at 22.2. Great sector 1, bad mid, bad final. Libert takes pole position for Twister Racing.
Not something I would have predicted, but Libert is a very fast driver, as has been proven before. But that was an impressive time there from Samuel Libert.
Excellent that from Samuel Libert. Bono Huis, he was very cautious, it looked like, in Parabolica to me. Very cautious. And it's what worked out. Libert's taking pole position. But on return to Formula Sim Racing, Jeffrey Rietveld's in third. Ernie Simoncic is in fourth. I call him Ernie, by the way, just if anyone missed the last. If anyone has missed the last race, Ernie Simoncic, even though it's Urine Simoncic, I believe. Dion Kostadinov is in fifth place for Crown 7 Netrex. Yank Lapchin is in sixth, about T. Pescara. Ivar Kalamis is in seventh. Jack Keithley for GT Omega in eighth. Philip Pushka, ninth. Pushka and Malaki, of course, didn't do laps. So Pushka is in ninth place and Malaki is 10th. And we're just now going into the warm-up session.
Yeah, a nice close qualifying session there to take us into a warm-up session, which the timing's not generally indicative of what we're going to see in the race, but some of the drivers may test out some race fuel and just see how the car is currently feeling, but then we'll get into the race and we'll see who actually has the best car and who is the best around a track that may, from a track map, look fairly simplistic and not particularly difficult, but oh my, does this track have some of the most difficult corners that I've driven round. I mean, you've got the Lesmos and even the De La Rosière chicane's quite a tricky one to nail, but once you get it all sorted and once you figure it all out, you can start setting some decent laps, and that is exactly what Samuel Liebert did.
It absolutely was. Liebert did a beautiful lap together there. And we are now in the warm-up session, and we'll probably see a little bit of a disparity in terms of times, depending on if people decide to start on the hard tyres or the soft tyres. And also, we come race, we'll see the differing strategies, which was likely to be between a 1 and 2 stop race. And just to update you on championship standings, it's Bonnard Ruiz that leads the way on 162. Obviously, Morgan Moran was usually, or most likely to be, the protagonist, but it's Ivar Kalamis that's in second place on 117. Jack Keithley is on 92 points in third place, and Moran is on 88, and his teammate Philip Pushka is fifth with 73 points. Precision lead the way in the Constructors' Championship on 297 from Ghost Speed on 161. GT Omega on 122. Twister Racing on 99 and Brem GP on 69. So we have 6 wins this season for Bonnard Ruiz, an incredible run really. And this will be, if he wins today, it'll be 4 in a row that Ruiz would have won. So it's a pretty formidable form that he is in at the moment, even if he's not taking points. Okay, hopefully you're back live with us once again. Seems there was a slight connection issue there. We're having a bit of a nightmare at the moment here, Lewis, unfortunately, just with various streaming issues. But nevertheless, we're our way again. Bonnard Ruiz, he's on the fastest time currently in the warm-up session of a 1:26.6. With Rietveld for GT Omega, he done a 26.8, and Kostadinov on a 26.9, indicating obviously those soft tyres. And then Rietveld goes and smashes that to do a 26.2, followed up by Bonnard Ruiz, who then does a 26.1. So warm up already, and these guys are going at it and chopping and changing times pretty frantically inside the top 10.
Yeah, I think we'll also see that for a good 10 laps at the beginning of the race, and then we'll see obviously the people who are on the harder tyre who will drop back throughout the race. But hopefully we won't have any serious issues whilst in the race, but it's quite clearly me, because I mean, we've done the World Trophy and the World Series, and that's always caused problems. Interesting line through the first chicane there from Gergo Baldi. I hope he doesn't do that in the race.
Many different lines, but Dion Kostadinov's now gone quick. He's on a 26.0, incredible. So the times are really moving about at the moment. Crown 7 Netrex on top of the pile in warm-up at the moment from Bonnard Ruiz and Jeffrey Rietveld. As we said, Rietveld making his return to Formula Sim Racing. He steps into the second GT Omega seat with Ernie Simoncic. He is now in the Ghost Speed seat, vacated by Morgan Moran. It was always likely that he would be promoted up, and sure enough, he has been promoted up to be Philip Pushka's teammate. A lot of speculation was rumoured about what will happen with the Ghost Speed team now going forwards. But with the lineup of Simoncic and also Pushka, you'd have to say it's still fairly strong there, Lewis, to go up against the likes of Precision Motorsports. I don't see any real reason that they should think anything different for Ghost Speed in terms of going forwards. They'll probably still have support from around here and there, and assisting them where he possibly can. And again, at the moment, just showing that they've got some pretty good raw speed out there. So I don't think Ghost Speed need to worry too much that they've lost Moran, because Simoncic has already been a pretty healthy replacement.
I would completely agree. I mean, Morant's not really had the best of seasons, and that's not to take any skill away from Morant. He's an incredible driver, but the Ghost Speed lineup currently for Italy is an extremely strong one. You can't deny that even slightly. So, going forward, I do think that Ghost Speed will be fine with all of the races for the rest of the season, and obviously this will be the benchmark one just to see where everything's going to fit in for them.
Yep, most definitely. We'll have to wait and see how this works out with Ghost Speed, but they can't really have any qualms at the moment. Gergo Baldi, he's the Crown 7 Netrex driver in 9th place, teammate to Dion Kostadinov, making his return. Obviously, one of his strongest outings as was at the Nürburgring, where he came 3rd. He was on the podium, a superb drive for him. Giuseppe Marconi for Faster Than Speed, he's also up there at the moment. He's in 7th place on a 27.2. That's encouraging pace for Faster Than Speed there, and Giuseppe Marconi in particular. Possibly on the softer tyres, and maybe not as quick as the guy in front, but still a relatively solid pace that Giuseppe Marconi is doing there. And some real variables we're seeing in warm-up here with tyre disparity and the tyre differences and what people will choose in terms of overall strategy. It's I think we're on for an entertaining race here, Lewis, in comparison. Well, I think World Series and World Trophy were entertaining in parts, if not all the way through.
Yeah, we didn't have too much overtaking though, and there was, especially in the World Series, a distinct one that I remember that it was fairly gapped out throughout the race. We didn't have too many duels, especially in the later part, but the duels that we did have, especially in the World Trophy, there were just these amazing wheel-to-wheel stuff where you get one overtake and then you get another one coming past as well, and another one, and it was quite enthralling. And I hope, especially in the World Championship, but the way it's looking now, Bonahuis retakes the lead of the session, doing a 1:26 flat. 0-1-3. I do hope we're going to have a very interesting race, and it's certainly looking that way from the warm-up pace that we're getting. We don't have very long left of the session though, 6 minutes 28 seconds, and we'll just have to patiently wait and see what's going to happen in the race, because this could be interesting.
With current pace as well, Bonahuis is very, very nearly on the verge of cracking into 25s on the soft tyres that he's currently warming up on, and so is Kostadinov, and Jeffrey Rietvel not too far off either. He seems to be the main man at this present point to challenge Bonahuis. Ivar Calamies will no doubt have something to say along with Jack Keithley. Simoncic, Liber look like they have some solid race pace as well. 26.6 and 26.7 place Simoncic and Liber respectively. Ivar Calamies on that 27.2. With variable strategy, as I said, it looks like they have split the two precision cars possibly here, with Huis on the softer compound and Ivar Calamies starting on the harder compound. So not only do we have the overall race, but it looks like we've got some inter-team battles and rivalries currently emerging here, Lewis.
Yep, you got to love the inter-team battles. They're always the most interesting because you're not really sure how they're going to play out. I mean, with an inter-team battle, there's a bit more at stake. Even if we have like sister team on sister team, it's always very interesting to see how it's all going to play out. If Schneider spun right in front of Samuel Liber, but scary moments. I hope that doesn't happen in the race, because it's never fun when someone spins in front of you and there's nowhere that you can go. Samuel Liber though getting over the chicane, the inside of the chicane, Ascar, and having another person spin in front of him. Not his day. Hopefully it goes a bit better for him in the race.
Absolutely. I tell you, one person that will definitely be hoping for a better race is Edouard Malorki after what happened to him in the World Series race. So I raced in it myself, but I watched it back. And Lewis, you were commentating, and Malorki was particularly unlucky with what happened with the spin in the middle of Ascari with Lapala.
Yeah, it didn't work out for him at all, being placed back quite a way down the grid. And it's when a race starts to go wrong for you, it can be quite disheartening, and you can carry that through, especially into other races, and it's generally more that you'd carry it on to the next race for the World Series, but hopefully he doesn't bring any of that over into the World Championship, and he's going to start 10th, so yeah, hopefully he's going to have a good race from there.
Yeah, he's hoping for an improvement, but Malorki had a bit of a nightmare one, and Ville Lapala is actually also racing in this race again, so Malorki and Lapala will probably want to stay way away from each other, which is pretty understandable after the antics of yesterday. Obviously, it was Lapala that had essentially a half spin on the entry, and the rear kicked out and it turned into a complete 90-degree sideways slide, if you like. And Maliki had nowhere to go. Very fast entry to Ascari, and T-boned into the side of him and lost, I believe it was the front left and his front wing. Managed to get back to pit lane, get it replaced, then back out on track and recovered a couple of points, but not enough that he would have liked towards the front of the field where he was challenging for the World Series title. So it's his chance now today to prove himself, but in the World Championship level instead.
I think he's definitely got on the pace. I mean, he's shown himself. I think he's fourth in the World Series at the moment, and is quite strongly maybe fifth or something now. I think it's fourth. He's a strong driver. He's very fast, and I think he's coming over here. He's going to try and prove himself, and especially after what happened yesterday, I think even for yourself, you need to prove it to yourself to show that you definitely do have the pace. It's not just through the unfortunate of what happened to others that then gets in your way and then you've crashed out. And I was most amazed that he brought it back to the pits. He didn't just instantly look at that and go, I'm not doing this anymore. He soldiered on, he carried on. And I said this for a few drivers who, when they're involved in incidents like that, they carry on. They're not going, no, that's it, I'm just going to quit now and go do something else, go watch some TV or something like that. I'm just going to keep going. I'm here for a reason, and there's stuff that I can pick up even though this has happened to me. And I think it played out quite nicely in a way, from where Milwaukee was after that lap to then have brought it back to where he ended. It was a good charge for him.
Yeah, made a nice little recovery. It's Dion Castellanos from quick on a 25.6, and I think a few drivers are questioning just how he's done it. I believe it was picked up a slipstream. As far as we're aware, it was a slipstream that he picked up to achieve this 25.6, but that's a pretty impressive time to be nearly 4 tenths quick, or just over 3 tenths, quicker than Bono Huis there, Lewis.
Yep, an amazing lap time there for Dion Castellanos as we're 1 minute and 20 seconds to go in the warm-up session, and then we'll have everyone else finish their lap, and then we'll get straight to the warm-up lap and to the race. But Bono Huis, 3 tenths down. I would assume Dion Castellanos did get a slipstream or something like that, but needless to say, we can joke about anything. But Dion Castellanos, that was an incredible lap, especially if he is running race fuel. Which you would assume if he's not running race fuel and he's done a 25.6, that's not that great. But most people do use the warm-up sessions to test race fuel, and that's seemingly what Dion has done to put himself into P1.
Yeah, you'd have to believe the fact that they are, in those gone from qualifying conditions into race conditions, and they are utilising the warm-up as it is meant to be used. Have seen different things throughout the season happen, but nevertheless, Dion Castellanos for Crown 7 Networks on that 25.6 looks like he's got a toe from someone, and if he has got a toe, that's a hell of a toe and a lot of time to pick up around this circuit, whichever sector he achieved that in. Likely to be sector 3, probably out of Ascari, got a toe down there, and then through Parabolica and onto the start straight to gain that time advantage. And it's just nearly 2 tenths it splits Huis and Rietveld, so they seem to be the quickest two at the moment. And then it's the Ghost Speeds. So, like we said, Ghost Speed have got nothing to worry about at the moment because Pushkin and Simoncic have got very respectable times, 26.4, 26.6, as we are just getting ourselves ready to move to the race session. And the other drivers to look out for, looks like Chris de Jong's jumps into the Fast and Speed car once again. He's on a 26.9, believing to be on the softer compound tyres also here. So a solid outing for Chris de Jong. Yannick Lapchin for Bati Pescara, he's having a solid outing at the moment as well. And there's a few drivers that had slipped back in the field that are actually now starting to perform slightly stronger around this Monza circuit. That's I think a lot of people are more accustomed to enjoy more so testing especially, than what they did at Valencia.
Yeah, Valencia is never really a circuit that most drivers hold highly. I don't mind Valencia. Valencia's a bit of can be interesting, and I know one person who really likes it. One of my friends really likes Valencia, and as I said, I don't really mind it, but some of the drivers really hate it. Whereas you come to a track like this, and you talk to quite a lot of the drivers in the grid, and they do generally enjoy the circuit. And this is a circuit that can bring the best out of a driver. And especially if you can get a good setup around here, which can be potentially difficult because you've got things like chicanes and stuff like that, but you want low downforce, so you're going for a bit of mechanical grip, and can be a bit tough, but drivers don't seem to be troubling that at the moment, and we do have no time left in the session, so we're just waiting for some drivers to finish off, as you said, and then we'll get straight into the race.
Yeah, we just waited for race direction to give us the all clear. In about 40 seconds we should be going forwards with the race. And the drivers still out there on track circulating around in the warm-up. We'll come to the end of their warm-up session, and it will be Dion Costadinov that takes the warm-up time of 25.6 from Bonahuis's 26.0. So we are just awaiting. I think we just had a moment for Jeffrey Rietveld there, so we wait for him to return. And Lewis, we should be on for a very enthralling race, and I don't think Precision will have it all their own way, and we could see a very strong battle coming from Twister and Ghost Speed, and you never know, that Badsi Pescara of Yank Lachin also.
One would hope, because we all like a battle for the lead as much as you can have battles throughout the grid. I genuinely think that the lead is one of the main places that people look. I've discussed this over at other leagues when you've done commentary on a race, and even though the leader's shot off, I'm always certain that the one piece of information that you take away from a race weekend is who is the winner. And that's generally the thing that you want. And if you've got a good battle for the lead, doesn't matter who that winner is, because it doesn't matter, because the battle for the lead was so intense, and we all like seeing a good battle for the lead, and hopefully we'll get it today. But if I were to predict anyone to take the win, I would have to lean towards Bono. He's got the most ridiculous consistency and some serious pace. And this year, the only times he hasn't won is one time when he wasn't there, one time when he did win but then had it taken away from him, and the other time he disconnected. So going on that record, he was also disconnected whilst in the lead of the race at GB, I believe. So, going on that record, he's an extremely strong driver. But when you have strength like that, there's only so far it can go. We'll just have to wait and see.
Well, when it's something that's beyond your control that causes you to disconnect, and to have those results that he has done throughout this season, you have to believe that is pretty impressive, and it is something that he is looking to hopefully continue with here today, as he looks for a fourth straight win. So we are on the formation lap for the Italian Grand Prix. Samuel Abert, he's the pole position man here today with a superb lap from Bonahuis. He's in second place and championship leader. In third then we have Jeffrey Rietveld on return to Formula Sim Racing World Championship in the GT Omega. We then have Ernie Simoncic in fourth place for Ghost Speed. He is the replacement driver of the outgoing Morgan Moran, after he announced his retirement from sim racing moment for the time being. So it's more like a sabbatical, really, I guess, than a retirement. Dion Costadinov for Crown at 7 Networks is in fifth place, with Yannick Lachin for Badsi Pescara in sixth. Ivar Kalamis is in seventh place for the Precision Motorsports team, the teammate to Bonahuis. Jack Keithley, teammate to Jeffrey Rietveld, is in eighth, with Philip Pushka, Simoncic's teammate, in ninth place. Edouard Malaki, who is teammate to pole position man Samuel Abert, he is in 10th place. Gergo Baldi, coming back into FSR also, is in 11th, with Marek Godek in 12th place. And Lewis, I will let you run through the rest of the field.
Okay then, well in 13th you obviously have Ville Lapala, one of the World Series races that we've seen before. We've got Franz Schneider as well. Zoltan Suti is in 15th. Carbo is in 16th, Van der Linden 17th, Christy Young 18th, Rondon is 19th, Marconi 20th, Helmbro 21st, Bledisley 22nd, Varga is in 23rd, and I think that's the entire grid. So we've got 23 drivers all heading down to that first chicane. Always a scary thing. I think we had 26 on the World Trophy earlier on today. But for the people at the back of the grid, running down to the first chicane's never quite as bad, because you're not worried about people behind you. But for the people forward in the grid, you're always checking your mirrors.
Well, as I found out yesterday, that midfield is a horrible place to be, as it was unfortunate what happened with Alex Diaz into turn one. So these guys will have to go particularly careful. because it is the tightest turn 1, and it's quite a long run down there as well, and you pick up a lot of speed to get in the toe of another driver. It's a long way to go down into that turn 1. As we wait for the lights, here we go. We've got 3 lights. There's 4, 5 lights. And we'll go at Monza. It's a good jump there for Boniface. He's got a great leap off the line. Sammy Leber's got an equally good start. It's Rietveld with the best start. And it looks like Simoncic has had a good one as well on the approach to turn 1. Huis is going to go the inside of Liber. Can he get the job done? He can. There's contact behind. I think that's Yank Lachin that's lost his front wing there. Liber's held the lead with Boniface in second place. Jeffrey Rietveld slotted into third. Simoncic is a little bit behind. Jeffrey Rietveld's getting a toe. He's going to go 3 wide, going down to the Della Roggia chicane. And round the outside goes Boniface, and he takes the race lead. Liber slots into second. Rietveld was ready to pounce, couldn't get the job done. Simoncic is there ready on the GT Omega driver as well. Kostadinov stayed in 5th. Yank Lachin struggling. I'm not too sure if he did lose that wing or not. But Ivar Kalamis is next man. He has lost that wing as the Yank Lachin. So Ivar Kalamis is looking to get by in that Precision Motorsports car. Keith Lee is in 8th. Maliki is in 9th. And Pushka's 10th. Maliki's gone forwards a position, and he's looking to hustle Jack Keithley straight away. Yank Lachin will have to dive into pit lane. That will move everyone from 6th backwards forwards, and he's gone straight on the entry to Ascari. And this is costing Ivar Kalamis valuable time at the moment as Kostadinov, Simoncic, Liber are pulling away. And Rietveld's got by Liber as well, so Rietveld is in second place, so it's Precision Motorsports from GT Omega from Twister.
Yeah, I was just about to say that Rietveld had gotten past Liber going down into the Ascari chicane. It was a good move.
Kostadinov's now got Simoncic just side by side as they go over the start-finish line. Lachin's dived into pit lane. That's released Kalamis. He's going to try and close the gap now. Malaki's in 7th. Keithley's in 8th. Pushka is in 9th, and all over the rear wing of Keithley. They're getting close to Malaki up the inside. Can he get the job done? No. And very, very close to the break was Kostadinov to Liber, and Simoncic as well. He is still in 5th place. Kalamis has a 1.6 gap to make up, with Malaki now past Keithley. Oh, sorry, still in front. And Pushka is in 9th. And Mark Godek's the man in 10th at the moment. Van der Linden 11th. Is under heavy fire from Zuheiz Carbo in 12th place. Down towards Della Roggia once again. Maliki holds on. Keithley's in 8th place with Pushka in 9th. Can't do anything on the entrance to the first Lesmo. That's dangerous going through there. Understeer for Maliki. Gets it sorted out though. Kalamis is closing the gap. He's taken 2/10 out of them already. Oh, he's lost a little bit going through Lesmo too though. Was too deep in the corner. Kostadinov chasing Liber. He's getting very close to Liber as well as he goes up towards Ascari. Liber with an early turn in. Gets the car sorted out on the exit, and it's got a good exit from Ascari as well. That's held Kostadinov off for a little bit longer, but Parabolic is going to be a different story momentarily because he's getting closer, and this is all over 3rd place. Liber's gone to defend straight away. Outside of Parabolica for Kostadinov. Can he get the job done? Oh, yes, he can. He's going around the outside of him. Can he get the power down? Yes, he does. Great move from Kostadinov there on Sonny Liber, the pole position man. And through goes Kostadinov into 3rd place, but now he's got the toe. He'll try and go back up the outside of him, going into turn 1 now as Kostadinov defends. Late on the brakes with Kostadinov. Holds on and gets it turned in. Good job there for Kostadinov. He's going to be bad on the exit of the first chicane though, and it's going to give Liber a run once again. He'll have to defend the inside off of Curva Grande. He's going to the outside. Yeah, there we go. Kostadinov defends straight away. So the outside goes Samuel Liber. We've already seen he wasn't too great on the brakes with Petr Huis, and he's not great again. Kostadinov's in 3rd place. Next up, Simoncic on Liber.
Yeah, that was an awesome move though from Dejan Kostadinov around the Parabolica. That's brave stuff to go that wide and be running basically right along the white line on the outside, but he made it stick. And,
Jeffrey Rietveld's half spun. Sorry, coming out of Lesmo 2, he's got a half spin on and it's dropped him back towards Kostadinov. It's released Boniface to a 2.1 second lead. He half spun it, he's still in 2nd place, but he's lost a lot of ground. And now he's under heavy fire from the man that's just got past Liber, Dean Kostadinov for Crown 7 Netrex.
Awesome drive so far from Kostadinov, and he's going to challenge for 2nd place as they head down into the Parabolica. Place there. Oh, he goes a little bit wide there as he pulls out of the slipstream, but has that move all sorted and done. So good stuff there from Dejan Kostadinov to take 2nd place already. 2.3 though. Oh, no, that's not correct because read the wrong time split. It's 2.2 between Dejan Kostadinov and Bono Huis, but Rietveld is challenging once again.
He is challenging, but again, that defensive line from Dean Kostadinov, and he's good on the brakes. Around the outside goes Rietveld. Oh, lovely move. Gets the job done. And this is giving Libera a chance because he got a good entry to turn 1 as well. So, going through the Retafilio, that worked out nicely for Libera. It's not worked out for Kostadinov. Rietveld's back into second place. Libera to the outside of Kostadinov, and again, not so strong under braking. Kostadinov's better, so is Rietveld. Silancic is closed. Where's Calamies? 2.5 seconds back. That's probably the tyre disparity starting to show there. Kostadinov's gone deep in Lesmo 1, gets it sorted out. As Libera is trying to hustle him, and he's getting very close to him, but again, and now Rietveld got Lesmo 2 sorted this time, and he's pulled a half second over Kostadinov, and just about broken that toe, but out in front, it's the main man as always, 2.6 seconds down the road, Bono Huis.
Yep, he's looking for his 4th consecutive win and his 7th of the season, but Rietveld though, even though he did have a half spin, which we've already said about, probably due to that dip on the inside of the second Lesmo, half a second is still good enough to get within a slipstream, but he seems to just be pulling away ever so slightly from Dejan Kostadinov, but Kostadinov is looking very racy around this track so far.
Most certainly is. It looks like we may have a battle on for 8th place as well. This is going to be Jack Keithley against Edward Malachy, GT Omega against Twister Racing. Good straight line speed here for Malachy. Keithley's defended straight away to the inside, and yeah, they're swarming all over the place. They've got to go careful with that. Can't make too many moves, but Keithley's held on, and he is stayed in that 8th place from Edward Malachy. Marcel van der Linden has got past Mark Godek because Godek went straight on at turn 1. No time penalty though, so that's all right for him. But Godek is in 11th place after Van der Linden's got by, so the Biocross Positive Sim Racing is inside the top 10 once again. Godek's 11th, Zuheights Carbo is 12th. Giuseppe Marconi's up to 13th place, with Ville Parla currently in 14th.
Yeah, it's been a good run from the Go Speed Racing guys, as Filip Puška is in 7th and Simončić is in 5th, which is, it's decent places for them so far, and we are early days in this race. We've only done 4 laps and we're about to enter our 6th once Huis has gone around the Parabolica. But there's so much time left in this race, and we don't know what the tyres people are on, and all this strategy will come out as Dejan Kostadinov has closed right onto the back of Jeffrey Rietveld, so he's probably going to be having a look down into the first chicane.
He most certainly is, and he's gone to the inside straight away. It's Dejan Kostadinov, and shot by Jeffrey Rietveld into the braking zone. Oh, goes right in front of him. You've got to go careful not to move too much under braking there. He's gone deep in the Retafilio as well, which given Rietveld the run out onto Curva Grande. Where's Libera? Too far back. We're going to go side by side once again for 2nd place between Kostadinov and Jeffrey Rietveld. To the inside goes Rietveld. Can he get it done on the braking zone to the Roger chicane? Yes, he can. Back into 2nd place goes Rietveld. Huge oversteer moment, but gets it sorted out. And Kostadinov is in 3rd place. Libera is there ready to pounce as well. Simončić has fallen back a little bit for Go Speed. Still fairly solid pace. Nothing to worry about at the moment. He's still latched onto the back of these 3, just underneath a second. And then Ivar Calamies is a further 2.9 seconds back, believing to be on those alternate tyres, or the harder car power tyres to start with. And unfortunately, we have lost Peter Varga, Franz Schneider, and Gergo Baldi.
Yep, not been a great start for those 3 to their race weekend, but this is what I was talking about between Rietveld, Kostadinov, and I suppose Libera is pretty much in this duel at the moment. Is when you get past someone, you're then going to be in the slipstream as you head down the next straight, and that is exactly what Dejan Kostadinov is about to prove as he heads down in towards the first chicane. This is something that we'll probably see quite a lot this race, as Dejan Kostadinov is going to pull out quite early as they're heading down the straight, and we did see him brake extremely late last time as he pushes Rietveld quite wide. Rietveld, though, is fully aware of where Kostadinov wants to brake, and there is a bit of contact there as Libera is actually going to get through on Kostadinov.
Yeah, Kostadinov's actually moving under braking. Now that's a little bit
dangerous.
Naughty, and yeah, very, very dangerous. He's moving under the braking zone, and Libera's getting very, very feisty. Oh, Libera's rubbish under brakes. Or Kostadinov was just too eager, in fact. So Libera wasn't rubbish under brakes there. Kostadinov was just over eager. But Libera is definitely struggling under braking compared to these guys. Rietveld's been better than him, and Kostadinov's generally been better than him, other than that one moment. And so was Simončić. So Libera under heavy braking's not quite got it, whereas these other guys seem to at the moment. This has released Rietveld to 1.1 second advantage, and Kostadinov now got to close in and try and make a move. But Kostadinov's got to go careful under braking in these braking zones. So look at that, around the outside. Kostadinov's gone right round the outside of in Ascari on Liber, and that's almost embarrassing at times for Liber at the moment. He needs to get that braking sorted out, because he's braking very, very early for some of these corners. He seems to be getting a solid enough exit, but the entry's been pretty poor for him, and he can't seem to defend from anyone at the moment. So it's Kostadinov against Liber, and then we have Simoncic. Liber's coming back at Kostadinov now over third place. Rietvels escapes at 1.7 seconds further down the road. Oh, wow! There we go, that's what I meant. Kostadinov and Liber actually slightly touched there. There was a slight touch between them on a straight, incredibly. And this is what I mean with Kostadinov moving about all over the place. This is not what we want to see. Moving in the braking zone is not really advised in any sort of motor racing. And Kostadinov's pushing in. Oh, look again!
Oh, wow.
That's very ordinary driving, that. He's jinked it right out towards the edge of the track to defend the line. He's got to go careful with Dion Kostadinov at the moment, because Liber, his car was nearly front right to rear left alongside, and Kostadinov nearly threw him straight off the track, so he has to go careful. Unfortunately, we lost Chris de Jong now also. Simoncic is closed in. Ivar Calamise is 3.2 seconds back, and Philip Pushka is closing in on Ivar Calamise at the moment also. So Kostadinov has to go careful. Liber has to go, is trying to make an impression. Oh, Kostadinov got oversteer in Ascari, and that's giving the run to Liber. Kostadinov's not moved this time. Wisely done. Wisely. Oh, he's moving. No, he has moved. He moved on Simoncic and then pulled back out again. So it wasn't too bad. But Simoncic is now going to try and get a run on Kostadinov as well. Kostadinov's going to have a run on Liber. Liber's gone defensive straight away. Kostadinov will go side by side. Now this time, Dion, you don't go right. Stay straight. He has stayed straight. Yeah, he stayed straight. We've lost Ville Lepala as well now, unfortunately. So they're dropping like flies at the moment. As Ville Lepala is now out of this race. Kostadinov has held his position and he kept it in a straight line. No moving on the braking that time. Liber from Simoncic. And we're going to have another fight on for sixth momentarily between Pushka and Calamise. Oh no, sorry, Pushka's got by Calamise there, in fact.
Yeah, that is correct. So Pushka up into sixth place, Ivar Calamise in seventh. Although I do think that Calamise will be coming back any time soon. About Liber though with his brakes, I mean maybe he's just managing it, because I mean if he's seen the World Trophy and even the World Series, there was a couple of people who had just absolute brake failures throughout the race. I think we had at least 3 or 4, and when your brakes start degrading like that, especially over a race as long as this, I mean we've got 53 laps for the drivers today, which you know is a good about an hour and 20 minutes of these cars being pushed, you know, being accelerated as quickly as they possibly can, and then braked quite heavily in a number of zones around this track. I mean there's at least about 3 or 4 heavy braking zones on this circuit, probably even more than that to be honest. But with that in mind, you know, you're going to be degrading the brakes quite a bit, and if you have that in mind, maybe you're not pushing as much on the brakes as everyone else is. And Liber though, he's in 4th position, so it's still a good run at the moment, and it looks like he may have a run down into the De La Rosière chicane.
It most certainly does. Liber, the Twister Racing driver. Oh, look at that again! A huge move there from Kostadinov to move that late on Liber, but he's held the position, and again that braking for Kostadinov's strong, but he's got to not move under braking, so he's very, very strong under braking. He just needs to have belief in a straight line, the fact he can hold that position, because Liber can't brake as late as what Kostadinov can. Simoncic holding station. He's in 5th place on lap 10. Fastest lap of the race at the moment is Bonacuite on a 26.2, with a 26.4 from Kostadinov in 3rd place, and Rietvels on a 26.5. So they've got some pretty equal pace, these guys. It's only Huis that has any sort of marginal advantage, if you can call it that, in terms of pace. Pushka from Calamise is now out to nearly 7/10, so Calamise on those hard tyres is just doing his job, going about his business, and will pit a lot later than most of these guys would have thought, as Ernie Simoncic is in 5th place. Going back through the field now, we have Jack Keithley in 8th. He's about to come under heavy fire from Edouard Malorky. And he is indeed, because he's in the tow. Over the start-finish line now on lap 11. Malachy is in the tow of Jack Keithley and can't do anything about it. Looks like the Twister Racing cars are carrying a little bit more downforce, because the Precision and GTMA cars in particular are exceptionally good in a straight line. Very, very good. Van der Linden against Godex on the edge of the top 10. That's 10th and 11th place. With Zuhite's Carbo not too far back at Giuseppe Marconi in 13th. Latchin's 14th. Disley's 15th. Suti is 16th place with Rondon 17th. And Helmbro is in 18th.
Yeah, I do agree with you about the Twist drivers though. It does look like they are carrying a little bit more downforce. Under braking though, they're not getting up to the speed really that they need to make a move stick, and it's quite unfortunate, but at least they're staying there. I think that the strategy could play a key part in this race for some of these drivers, and so getting that right, focusing on that and not pushing your car over the limit that you've basically set your strategy up for is going to be absolutely key for some of these drivers. And as being a racing driver, I think you tend to forget about these limits. It's just push, because, you know, why not? There's a car in front of you and he deserves to be overtaken, so push, and Malorky's going to have another go into the first chicane, but I don't actually think he's going to be close enough to make any sort of move.
No, it doesn't look again he's going to make any sort of impression on Keithley, because he's not got that straight line speed. And you're absolutely right there, you're always trying to find the edge and trying to push the limit. Once you've found the edge and you've found the limit, then generally you know how to get up to it, but also know how to stay away from it when you need to control a race. That, in particular, is what Bono Huis excels at. That is the one thing that typifies his racing. He knows the edge, he knows the limit of his own driving and his own driving style and his own ability. And when he needs to back it down, he knows how to, but he knows also how to keep the pace up that's enough to control a race. And that is why he is a 3-time world champion, and why Jeffrey Rietveld is currently 4 seconds back from Bono Huis at the moment, and the rest of the drivers are squabbling between them. As Simoncic is going to go up the inside of Lebert, is he into Ascari? He is! Oh, wow! A huge slap of oversteer that actually nudged the back of Lebert, but didn't quite have any repercussions, thankfully, from it. And Simoncic was right over the curbing on the entry to Ascari, but luckily just was about to sort it out, And we should be getting towards, we're on lap 12, so we're getting to the point and the area where we maybe get some pit stops fairly soon. And sure enough, we are straight away, 5th place man, Ernie Simoncic. He's the first man to blink, lap 12, and he's going to get rid of those soft tyres.
Yep, this is about the time for a pit stop, but I've noticed that Dejan Kostadinov has started to gap Lebert quite a bit now. There's about 3 seconds between, almost 3 seconds between the two of them, and Pushka's closing in onto the back of Lebert as well. So maybe Lebert's struggling for tyre wear, and we can see him in ever so shortly.
So lap 13, Simoncic has rejoined behind 11th place man Zuhite's Carbo by 1.4 seconds. On those fresh tyres, I'm sure that gap will close pretty quickly though, as Malachy and Keithley still, the battle rages towards the front of the field. Huis from Rietveld, 4.1 seconds, stayed about the same for a few laps now. So Rietveld's pegged the gap but not been able to make any impression on the gap.
Indeed. But I'm just wondering what some of these driver strategies will be. This will be where the people who started the race on the harder of the two tyres will probably start to punch through the field due to the fact that they don't actually have to make a pit stop this early, and they'll be going a bit later on in the race. But
here we go. Looks like race leader Bono Huis is going to make his first pit stop. Into the pit lane he comes on lap 13.
As does Rietveld.
Does Rietveld, you're absolutely right.
And Kostadinov.
They're all coming in. Kostadinov and Lebert carries on. So does Pushka, so does Calamise, so does Keithley. So they've pitted. So now where does Bono Huis come out? He was the race leader, and he has come out. Oh wow, side by side, Malachy and Keithley. Malachy's going to go up the inside, and look who's come out right behind them, Bono Huis. So Keithley and Malachy were racing each other, and as he came out the pit lane was Bono Huis. He's now going out, he's got fresh tyres, and he'll be racing those two momentarily. But Keithley's in the slipstream of Malachy already. He'll be getting close to him. Huis will start drafting up to him. Rietveld still at the same gap, up the inside into the De La Roche chicane. Goes Keithley, but Malachi's defended it. Oh, look at that round the outside for Jack Keithley. Great work. And Bonihuis is there to pounce. He's going to try and pounce anyway early on because he needs to get rid of these guys before the others pit. Up to Lesmo 2, up the inside. Oh, that's risky. Oh, wow, yeah, very risky in fact. Malachi, what a save. What a save from Edouard Malachi. He did not go in the fence, and Huis was did the courtesy thing there and made sure that he didn't actually gain that position from Malachi, but up the inside he goes now, and he has got that position. But Malachi, what a moment that was for Edouard Malachi there. And in all of that, the gap to Rietveld has now closed to 1.8 seconds. And Malachi's coming back at Huis as well, going up towards the Parabolica, but no, he's not going to do anything about it. We should be getting some more pit stops. We are indeed. Yep. Lebert and Pushka both in now as well on lap 14.
Calames now leads, but that did not play out very well for Huis in reality. I mean, when you think of it, he came out in traffic, he came out behind two people that he had to overtake, and one that's actually just going to try and re-overtake him. But I've already said this about Milwaukee, he's not really had the braking of the car sorted. But nevertheless, that's how it's worked. Huis, though, still theoretically our leader, but I will point this out from the World Trophy. We did have a theoretical race leader who I thought was completely in the race lead, but then strategy prevailed, and we had two people that were actually leading that I wouldn't have actually thought that they were actually properly leading. But that was the way that worked out. Very interesting race that was, and Rietveld going very wide at the exit of the first Lesmo, showing the skill that some of these drivers have, where every single time they'll plant it as wide as they can go, as wide as they dare, and every single time they'll just repeat that move, rinse and repeat, and it will work for you.
Lebert and Pushka came out behind Zuhait's Carbo and Ernie Simonchik as well. They're not too far behind Marek Godek. So at the moment, Huis is currently sitting in third place, and that's all because Calames and Keithley haven't stopped and are the ones on the hard tyres. Now, as they're the hard tyre runners, the gap between Calames and Keithley currently sits at 5.9 seconds. The gap's, 6 seconds. In fact, as they come across the line, it was 6 seconds exactly between Keithley and Calames, and they are on the hard tyres at the moment, and Bonihuis is coming up towards Jack Keithley now. Obviously, those guys have not stopped. Huis has stopped, been momentarily held up by Malachi in all that as well. And Jeffrey Rietveld has fallen to 2.3 seconds behind Huis, but gained about 2 seconds after the battle with Malachi.
Yeah, still looking strong though in a possible second position. He's just coming up to the back of Milwaukee as we speak. So far, it's been a fairly good drive for Milwaukee, putting him up into P4. He has finished a few of the World Championship races. I do believe I am reading into the right driver. I am reading into the right driver. He actually has, he's finished in 6th and 5th. He was 6th in 2 races and 5th in another. So Milwaukee's actually had quite a good record in the World Championship. As he does get over, I was just about to point out
Rieveld's just gone up the inside of Malachi there on the entry to Ascari, and then goes very, very wide as well. And Malachi's coming back at him.
I believe we had that in the World Series race, where some drivers were told that if they do go wide at Ascari, and they can only really do that about 5 times in the race, which on a 53-lap race is I thought they were pitting then, but no, in a 53-lap race that's about 10%. And so if you're constantly running wide over that and maybe even possibly gaining an advantage, then you will get penalised for that. And I will also point out that Bono Huis has gotten past Jack Keithley up into 2nd position now for Bono Huis.
Yep, Huis is progressing on those new tyres as Rietveld now is pulling away from Malachi. Huis on a 25.9 that he has done, and into the braking zone of the De La Roche chicane. Up towards Lesmos, and he is 5.1 seconds behind Ivar Calames at this point, and will start to close that gap before Ivar Calames makes his pit stop, which will be, let's see, still got a few laps. I'd say 5-6 laps yet he'll probably have left on those hard tyres to run. It's just a case of how long he can stay out there and how much he can fend off the onslaughting charge from Bono Huis.
Yep, 5-6 laps possibly, maybe even a bit longer if you've been really careful with your tyres. I don't think we'll be having anyone particularly one stop. I mean, I know this track doesn't have particularly the highest of tyre degradation, considering there's not too many high-speed corners. I mean, obviously you have the Curva Grande and the Parabolica, two quite high-speed corners, but other than that, it's all heavy braking zones and down into some chicane, so provided you're not braking, your tyre wear shouldn't be particularly high, and it should pay off if you're a careful driver. But I would agree with you, 5-6 laps time we should see Ivar Calame's pit for some fresh rubber. Whether that'll be the hards or the softs is something that we'll have to wait and find out.
Yeah, Jack Keithley, he is obviously on those hard tyres as well, and his teammate Jeffrey Rietveld's only 1.5 seconds behind after making his pit stop. And Maliki has also yet to pit, and Kostadinov is getting closer, and Van der Linden is yet to stop also with Simoncic, and Godek Libert is in 10th, Pushka in 11th, and they've both got by Zuhait's Carbo now.
Interesting, as this is the thing that pit stops create with the grid, is we have absolutely no idea who's doing what and what's going where, and then who is in theoretically which position. Bono Huis, though, controlling his pace at the moment, and not, I don't think he's particularly, not that he's not pushing, but he's not pushing as ridiculously hard as he could. He's just conserving the tyres, which is exactly what he needs to be doing, just not pushing on them too hard, not leaning on them fully for the race, and just lapping at a consistent pace that's not overdoing it. I mean, I did see him come out of the first Lesmo and get a huge whack of oversteer, but controlled it and hasn't been pushing as hard since. And there's 4.9 seconds between Bono Huis and his teammate Ivar Calames, and it's precision, GT Omega for your top four.
Exactly, that's exactly what it is at the moment, and Calames is doing a very, very solid job at the moment to fend off and not let that gap come down too much to Bono Huis on lap 19, as Keithley is starting to get Rietveld's getting closer to Keithley, but not a lot. It's still just over a second, 1.1 to be exact. And Maliki is doing a fine job as well, also in 5th place after making his stop. He's on a 26.6, and Keithley is on a 26.8. It's that straight line advantage though that seems to be working for the Precisions and the GT Omegas at the moment, as Twisters, we believe, are carrying a touch more downforce, which works them in the mid sector, but overall it hasn't really worked, unfortunately, for them at this point in time.
No, the only way you see a serious gain with the higher wings, the higher downforce, is when you're consistently leading the race, really, because that's where you'd gain the most, I suppose, the most advantage, because you're not trying to overtake anyone, and provided you've got decent pace with that specific setup, then you should be able to lead quite nicely, and the car would feel nice under you. As I think I just saw Hembro pit there, so we've had yet another pitter. I'm not sure what tyres he started on, but he is running at the back of the grid, and we've had 6 DNFs already, so that's always interesting. We've had Zoltan Susi, Ville Lapalo, Christian, Varga, Schneider, and Gergo Baldi. That's your 6th retirement. So 6 retirements, and we're on lap 20 now.
And we got a battle of the GT Omegas pretty much on now, because Rietveld has closed that gap. It's underneath half a second to Jack Keithley, so we should have a tantalising scrap between the two GT Omega drivers. Obviously, it won't be too intense, because Keithley's still got to make a stop yet, and Rietveld's on the fresher tyres. Maliki's falling back a little bit now also, but Kostadnov's going forwards in his Crown 7 net wreck, so it looks like he's got some good pace at the moment. But the closest battle currently is Rietveld against Keithley, as we head up towards Ascari. Heavy braking zone for Ascari. Quite a quick entry though in 3rd gear. Got to get the middle part right, because you need a clean exit with all that curbing around. You don't want to run too wide either, because there's a gravel trap there. It's an absolute nightmare if you run through that, and can really kick the car out also. So Keithley and Rietveld getting close towards now the Parabolica, and you have to believe Rietveld will have the cleaner exit because he's got the better tyres, and he'll be on to Keithley fairly shortly. And apparently Dion Kostadinov had a moment as well on the exit of Lesmo 2, was quite close to the wall, and Rietveld has gone by Jack Keithley and goes into 3rd place there. Oh, and a huge moment on the entry to turn 1-2 there, the Retafilio. He slid all the way through it and stayed in front of Keithley still, but that was an impressive way to get around the Retafilio.
Yeah, that's probably not the best way that you'd want to, because it's always a bit scary. You're not really sure the car is actually going to go. And the fast lap of the race was actually just set by Bono Huis today, 1:25.957. And just to prove that Ivar Calames isn't finished with these tyres yet, he actually did his fastest lap, a 1:26.218. Rondon's just pitted and come out and done the fastest second sector. So for now, our timing screen should be going a bit more purple.
Yep, 3.6 seconds is the gap. So the gap has closed between Huis and Calames. But remember, Calames is still yet to make his stop, and Huis is having to push on these tyres as it stands currently. But I think we should be expecting the first round of pit stops for the hard tyre runners on this lap or the next. And out of Parabolica, Ivar Calames comes, and into pit lane he does come. So he's going to get rid of his hard tyres. Into the pit lane he comes, and Bono Huis retakes the race leads. Calames into pit lane, hits his box, and will get rid of those hard compound tyres as Maliki goes through as well, and away goes Ivar Calames, and he has got rid of those hard tyres that you have to use in the race, and now he can go and do whatever he wants for the rest of the race, which is likely he'll be jumping onto soft tyres. And is he in front of Libert? He is just about in front of Libert, just in front of Samuel Libert. And Marek Godek's there to threaten as well, but Ivar Calames got a clean enough exit with that better tyre grip, and now he's going to chase down Ernie Simoncic. I don't think Libert will get close enough because the Twisters have that little bit more downforce. Into the braking zone for the De La Roche chicane, and Calames will now have to adapt to these tyres pretty quickly as he tries to close in on Ernie Simoncic. And Van der Linden gets pit as well. He's currently in 5th place. Kostadinov and Maliki are quite close, 3rd and 4th. Bono Huis is out in the race lead from Jeffrey Rietveld, and also Jack Keithley made his stop there by the looks of it as well, and he came out in 12th place behind Zuhait Carbo, so he'll have to negotiate him pretty soon. Philip Pushka is currently in 10th place. Libert, he's now falling. Well, Calames has pulled away, and he's closing in on Simoncic at quite a fast rate, so he should get to the back of the go speed in a couple of corners time. As Edward Maliki comes round the Parabolica, he should be the next man into pit lane. Pulls to the right, and yes, he does. He goes into pit lane now. So the Twister Racing car comes in for a service to change those hard compound tyres, and that's put Kostadinov into 3rd place. Van der Linden still yet to stop, and he's in 4th place. Simoncic 5th. Ivar Calames is closing on Simoncic. Wow, massively under braking. There's a huge braking disparity there, and the grip level between Calames and Simoncic is huge. A nice exit there for Ivar Calames as well, and this should give him the run on Simoncic, going down towards the De La Roche chicane, and to the inside he goes, up the inside, late on the brakes, and yes, he's got that place sorted out. He'll try to come back in with Simoncic, but Calames, fresh tyres, up to 5th place. Next man to negotiate is Marcel van der Linden for Biocross Positive Sim Racing, who once again are having a very, very impressive showing.
Yeah, not usually do you see a Biocross Positive Sim Racing car up that high, well, into P4. I mean, it's quite nice to see, actually. I always like the Biocross Positive Sim Racing cars, but that paid off absolutely brilliantly for Ivar Calames starting on the harder rubber. I would assume currently he's sitting on the softs in agreement with you. And I do know that on the outlap they just had, he set the fastest second sector. Jack Keithley currently sets the fastest second sector. And then he's gone completely purple in there, much faster than Ivar Calames. This is about half a second faster, so maybe showing a little bit of difference in setup or driving style there, or maybe even Ivar Calames made a little bit of a mistake, but that paid off brilliantly for Calames, and he's up into 5th.
He is into 5th, and it's all about pace now for Calames. He's got to negotiate quite a lot of traffic before he gets back towards where Bono Huis is. So it's all about the race pace on these tyres now for Ivar Calames. On these soft compound tyres, he's pulled 1.4 seconds on Simoncic already, and it's a second to Marcel van der Linden, will be the next one he's got to negotiate. The Biocross Positive Sim Racing driver for van der Linden, yet to make his stop as he goes through the first Lesmo, underneath half a second already. So look at the time he's taken out, the grip advantage that Ivar Calamise has is quite stunning at the moment. Lesmatu sorted out. He'll get to slipstream up towards Ascari, but won't be able to make a move just yet. Hit the braking zone. It'll be on the exit of Ascari where he tries to capitalise the most. Entry, nice entry, clean entry. And yeah, look at the grip difference he's got through Ascari. He's going to try and go to the outside of a Parabolica. Is he? Yes, Van der Linden is going to defend the inside, but he'll have the grip advantage under brake, and he should be able to sweep around the outside of him. He's got him already, in fact. It's done. It is done before Parabolica. And up into 4th place goes Ivar Calamise. Now tries to close he's going to have to try and close the gap now. What's the times? 25.5's the fastest lap currently. 24.6 for Ivar Calamise there. He is absolutely on a mission now. 4.2 seconds to Dion Kostadinov.
Yeah, insane lap there from Ivar Calamise. He had the slipstream he needed, and obviously the right amount of grip. I would assume he is definitely on these softer compound tyres. He's going to try and close in. There's 11.7 seconds between Ivar Calamise and the lead of the race from his teammate Bono Huis. He's got a couple of drivers in between him and that situation, which he should get to ever so shortly. But, you know, he's got a Dejan Kostadinov and a Jeffrey Rietveld in front of his. Jernde Simončić has actually spun in the background.
He has indeed.
Coming out of the... Yeah.
Yeah, he spun, and Lebert just got by him as well. That was very close. Oh, wow, teammates there.
Nearly.
Pushka and Simončić. Oh, wow. Ghost Speed must have been frightened the life out of them then. That must have been a very hairy moment for the pair of those drivers. But Keithley has got by, and Godek. Keithley, by the way, did a 24.9, so it was only 3/10 slower than what Ivar Calamise had done. Godek is in 7th place. Lebert is in 6th. Van der Linden is 5th. Calamise is in 4th place. And I tell you what, he's on a mission at the moment. Look at the time. He's bringing down Kostadinov already. Van der Linden, he's on lap 25, still yet to make his stop. And I tell you what, he's gone that late into the race. He might be one of the guys opting for a one-stop strategy here. He is. He's into pit lane now. There's nothing saying that he can one-stop this race and go hard. Oh no, sorry, they can't. Of course, it has to be 2-stop because they've got to use both compounds. Sorry, I'm thinking World Series there. They have to use both compounds, so that doesn't work. But that's a very long first stint there for Van der Linden. Simončić and Pushka are going side by side into turn 1.
You never know. Marcel van der Linden might have actually started on the softs and just been completely just not degrading them at all, and going quite late. But that is something that we'll have to see a bit later on. It's quite unlikely for that to have happened. It's a very long stint there if that was in the softs. But that was very close there between the Ghost Speed Racing cars of Simončić and Pushka. Simončić, though, still in the lead of that group and pushing hard.
I think I was still in World Series mindset there. I apologise. Of course, these guys in World Championships have to use both the compounds of tyres. We don't have to in World Series. And you basically can freedom of strategy, if you like. So Van der Linden will have to make another stop because obviously he will have to take soft tyres at some point. He may have done that already now, and trying to close down on Edouard Maliki. As Pushka and Simončić have sorted themselves out. Godek's yet to make his stop. He should be in fairly soon as well. Now, what is Ivar Calamise up to? 24.5 he did the last time round. 25.5 there from Bono Huis. That was a solid lap there. 24.5 again, is that? That's a 24.8 this time. So he is lapping quite... That's 7/10 faster than what Huis is doing at the moment. So this race pace from Ivar Calamise is really very good, and it's 2 seconds to Kostadinov now. He is closing that gap.
The two Ghost Speed boys down in 7 and 8 were going a bit side by side there. Down the pit straight, and it's still Simončić leading Pushka, so could have been an overtake there for Pushka, but it was not the case. Ivar Calamise, though, is absolutely on fire at the moment, and his sector times are absolutely showing it in comparison to his teammate. Through the first sector, there was 2/10 difference between the two of them. Ivar Calamise was 2/10 faster, obviously, and that's 2/10 also faster than Dejan Kostadinov in front, so absolutely closing the gap in there. There's 2.4 seconds between Ivar Calamise and Dejan Kostadinov, but 9.4 even between Calamise and Huis. So a bit of time to gain there, but enough time left in the race to do so.
Yep, on lap 27 of this 53 lapped race, and Bono Huis is coming to the line now to start lap number 28. He's just done a 25.6. Now, the time I really want to see from that 25.6 is what Ivar Calamise is going to do. He has done a 24.9. So again, that's 6/10 faster. Again, that's a great pace that Ivar Kalamis has on his soft tyres at the moment, and he is closing in on Dean Kostadinov as well. That gap's really come down. 25.8 for Kostadinov there. Only 1.4 seconds the difference between Kostadinov and Kalamis. 3.5 up the road to Jeffrey Rietveld, and 9 seconds to Bono Quiz. So this is working nicely for Ivar Kalamis at the moment.
Yeah, that is something that I did think of when he came out of the pits in that position, is that this strategy has worked out excellently for Ivar Kalamis, and we've passed the halfway point in the race now, and he is absolutely closing in on Kostadinov at a serious rate of knots. And really, I think if he gets Kostadinov, then there's no reason why he can't go after Rietveld as well, because there's not that much time between the two of them. There's actually 1.9 seconds between Kostadinov and Rietveld, and there is let's have a look at the gap now. It's about 1.2 seconds now is between Kalamis and Kostadinov, so closing in very quickly is Kalamis.
Kostadinov had a huge lock up there on the entry of Ascari as well, which really hurt him. Lost a few tenths there. Through Parabolica, that's another tenth that Kalamis has gained through the grip advantage that he has. 25.4 there for Bonaquist, still happening in the mid-25s. This time around it was 25.0 for Kalamis, so not as quick, not quite as quick, but still quick enough to be faster than what Quist is doing. And it's down to a second between Kostadinov and Ivar Kalamis, so it's getting close. And as soon as he drafts up to the back of Kostadinov, you have to believe he'll go past him. Fairly sharpish, because the pace, the straight line speed of the Precisions and the GT Omegas is pretty impressive.
Very impressive indeed, but I think we've still got a little bit of time left until Kalamis is on the back of Kostadinov. In fact, the first sector differential between the two of them then wasn't actually as great as we've seen on the previous few laps. I don't think that's the softs going completely off yet. He's still got some serious grip within them. But for 8th place, we have the duel between Malorki. He's actually just gone up and involved there with Pushka. Actually, let's have a look. Was he in front? Nope, Malorki is closed in. He's come from 10th behind. So Malorki getting involved in the Ghost Speed 7 and 8. Well, he's over 8 and 9 now. And just pushing his way through as we speak.
So forwards goes Eduard Maliki, trying to chase down Ernie Simonchich now. So he's a twister in a Ghost Speed sandwich. And let's see if he can eat his way out of this one. But Keith Lee, he's the next man. He's closing in on Samuel Lebert in that Twister Racing. So GT Omega on Twister Racing now as he go down towards the Retafilio. He's getting close to him. I don't think he'll do under braking. No, he's a little bit too far back from Lebert, is Jack Keithley. But again, he's got some a fairly solid pace at the moment, has Jack Keithley. And he'll get into the slipstream fairly shortly. Kalamis he closed a lot of that gap, but unfortunately he's kind of stalled out now, and it's stuck at 1.1 seconds. So the Precision Motorsports driver is not really progressing anymore at this point in time. And Jack Keithley is trying to negotiate Samuel Lebert, which is well underneath half a second as they go through the first Lesmo, coming up towards Lesmo 2.
Looking like the hot duel at the moment is Keithley and Lebert. Lebert has dropped back massively, considering he was the pole sitter not very long. Well, I say not very long ago. 29 laps ago, actually. He was the pole sitter. Malorki and Simonchich are changing about for position, and Malorki not being able to make a move their stick before the Ascari chicane. However, he's going to have a little look down into the Parabolica.
He is going to look towards the Parabolica, and out of Parabolica, Keith is getting close to Lebert. Now, the Twister Racing Cars, we believe, has not got quite as strong straight line speed. And let's see how much in the draft Keithley can get up to Lebert. Look at this. This is superb into the Retafilio chicane. But Lebert's very good on the brakes there, actually. So on this particular set of tyres, Lebert's found a bit more confidence under braking. But at the moment, Keithley, he's getting a little bit closer to Lebert, but not close enough.
No, but Malorki, getting his brakes all sorted out, has actually passed Simonchich now and is in 7th position. He's going to start hopefully closing down on Jack Keithley. See if he actually has the pace. There's 5.8 seconds between the two of them, and obviously not very long between Keithley and Libert. That's probably the closest duel on the track right now.
We got in 7th and 8th. Malaki's gone by Simoncic. Pushka is trying to close back up on these guys. Ghost Speed, after all the praise we gave him at the start, I've had a little bit of a nightmare here. This has not really worked out for them. And after Moran's departure from the team, Simoncic and Pushka are trying to steer this team forwards, and I'm sure they'll probably have their own a home dart set placed on the wall to try and throw darts at Boniquis to slow him down or something, because at the moment those Precision boys, in fact the entire team, is significantly quicker than what the Ghost Speeds have done. And Keithley's getting close to Libert once again as well. Keithley's getting very, very close to Libert, and to the inside goes Jack Keithley going towards the Retafilio. Can he break later this time round? Yes, he can. On the brakes, Keithley up the inside. Can he get it stopped though? Ooh, just about. Libert's going to have the better exit. And no, look at that. Jack Keithley's drive was superb. So he's broken in there already. Libert will get closer, but I think Keithley's got this one done already. The GT Omega driver goes up to 5th.
Yep, and just to switch over to his teammate Jeffrey Rietveld, who is in 2nd position and is going to quickly come under fire from a speeding up Dejan Kostadanov, who's only 6/10 behind now and is actually bringing one absolutely determined Ivar Calames with him. So keep an eye on the battle for 2nd, 3rd and 4th, because I think that's going to be heating up anytime soon.
It most definitely is. We have Keithley. Keithley is just trying to control his pace now after getting by Libert, but he's actually pulled out nearly a second already. So, Dejan Kostadanov. Oh, look at this. He's getting close to Rietveld for sure now. Dejan Kostadanov, his pace is superb. Getting closer and closer to Rietveld. Now, what's Calames up to? That pace is, again, stabilised at 1.2 seconds. Calames has not been able to do much more recently. And it's the man at the moment. It's Dejan Kostadanov for Crown 7 Networks. It's absolutely superb what he's doing here.
Yeah, I mean, I was actually thinking that maybe one of the Rieveld's tyres has gone off, but absolutely not the case. On his last lap, he did a 25.3, and what was that?
Marconi had a moment, one of the back markers, Giuseppe Marconi had a moment in front of Rietveld. He got it all sorted out, and the both drivers, Rietveld and Kostadanov, were able to get by, but Marconi had a moment on the second part of the Della Roggia chicane, and that nearly caught him out, most definitely. Both drivers out, but Rietveld gains 7/10 over Kostadanov, but Kostadanov pace is really, really strong. He's having a fantastic outing here for Crown 7 Networks.
Absolutely, and the pair of them, just to point out, but the pair of them on the last lap were actually faster than Bono. So, not that they're particularly closing in on the lead. I'm sure Bono is just cruising it around a little bit. I mean, he's got 6.2 seconds between himself and Jeffrey Rietveld, but Dejan Kostadanov is on fire at the moment. Oh, I thought he was going to lean into the pits then, but yeah, the times he is doing at the moment have been quite nice indeed, and are definitely meaning that he is closing in on second place man Jeffrey Rietveld.
Oh, look at that under braking! That was superb. The rear of the car looked like it was almost up in the air, shaking, and the rear of the car wagging its tail as he entered the Retafilio and just about stopped hitting Rietveld. And look at this, he's closing on Rietveld to the outside of the Della Roggia chicane, and under braking again. That Crown 7 Networks has gone by the GT Omega, too deep in the corner though. Rietveld's come back up towards Lesmo 1. Who's going to be brave under braking here? It's Rietveld that's the braver man, and he gets the position back. Oh, slight nudge on the front of Kostadanov's car, but wow, that braking ability that Kostadanov just had. Oh, he's on right at Lesmo 2 now. This is giving Calames the chance to close on them. This is what he needs. Because Calames got some good pace. He's on these fresher tyres than these guys, and he's not been able to make much more of an impression at the moment. But Kostadanov, what a move that was. And Rietveld just thought, no, you've made that mistake, I want that back.
Yeah, that was quite interesting, and a brave move through the Lesmos. Now, two people who are moving quite quickly backwards through the field is the two Ghost Speed Racing team that we've said that shouldn't be struggling with the two drivers that they had, and I don't know if they are. I think it's probably just a setup issue, but Philip Pushke is now in 10th position as Marcel van der Linden is demoting them back. He pitted quite a bit earlier on in the race, and he's having a look down on the inside of Simoncic for 8th and 9th.
Yeah, Rietveld's under heavy fire from Kastanov, and he's teasing him, is Rietveld. He is teasing him. It looked like he was going to dive into pit lane at the last moment. He jinked left and missed the pit lane to stop it from happening. And Kastanov is trying everything to get by Jeffrey Rietveld at the moment. The pace of this Crown 7 Netrex is superb. And here we go again, up to the Delaroche chicane. Around the outside, can he get it done? Dion Kastanov, no. Rietveld held his line. Beautiful driving there from Jeffrey Rietveld and held to hold his line there in that GT Omega car. And where is Ivar Calamies? He's 0.7 behind. He's getting close. We could be on for a three-way scrap over second place fairly soon. While Bonnie Huis enjoys a 7.3 second advantage further on down the road. Kastanov and Rietveld's made his one move to the left. He's got to go careful. He doesn't want to do that again. He's in the mid part of the track. Kastanov's coming at him. And again under braking. Kastanov's good. Rietveld's better.
Kastanov, though, has found some incredible grip over the last few laps in that car and is absolutely trouncing it. He's done his lap, his first sector this time round was 0.3 faster, and his second sector was.
Oh, look at that! Sorry, up the inside. He's
brave,
Kastanov.
brave.
That was very, very brave. What a move up the inside. Dean Kastanov goes into second place on the entry of the Parabolica. But look at Rietveld, he's coming back. Kastanov's defended already to the right hand side of the track. Coming down towards the Rettifilio once again. They're pushing each other to the right hand side. Under braking, who's going to be brave here? And again it's Rietveld. Oh, completely sideways. Both of them have. There's Calamies. He's going to try and capitalise on it. Oh, he's got him. Round the outside, he's got Kastanov. Now he's going to try and get Rietveld as well. Can he get Rietveld going down to the Delaroche chicane? To the left side of the track he goes. Under braking. Can he get Jeffrey Rietveld as well? He can. It's a precision 1-2. Up goes Calamies into second place. And it's now Rietveld down to third. Kastanov's fourth. And that's all because Rietveld and Kastanov went both deep into turn one. And Calamies capitalised on the exit around the Curva Grande down towards the Delaroche chicane and up into second place he goes.
Excellent opportunistic driving there for Ivar Calamies to put him up into second place and make this a precision 1-2. However, I don't think it's particularly over because he's got Dejan Kostadinov having a look down into Ascari. Don't want to do that too many times, but I think Ivar Calamies may have to start a bit of defensive driving now as he's got Jeffrey Rietveld and Dejan Kostadinov behind him. We know that Dejan Kostadinov has got some incredible pace these days around this track.
He most definitely has, and Rietveld is getting close. Rietveld's getting very close. What's Calamies up to? Is he going to try and pull tail move? No! There we go. Calamies has decided to get rid of these tyres, so he's the first man in this time. Calamies has dived into pit lane. Rietveld's come under heavy fire from Kastanov. It's on again. This is the third time we've had this into turn one. Late on the brakes, both of them. Round the outside, he tries to hold the line, is Rietveld. He has held it just about. They're nudging each other all the way through, though. And Kastanov still has to settle into third place.
Yeah, we also had a couple of other pitters, Jack Keithley being one of them, but Ivar Calamies has come out behind Edouard Malorqui in fifth, Malorqui for fifth place, so Ivar Calamies is in sixth. Got a little bit of traffic come out in front of Marcel van der Linden, so that's always good for Ivar, but there's plenty of time to be had in the race, and I think that was his second and final pit stop. We've still got a pit stop, I reckon, for most of the other drivers, including Bono Huis, Rietveld, Kostadinov and Liebe are all going to pit in probably a few laps time for some more hards.
We will see what happens, but they could go soft again potentially. I'm not too sure if they can run softs that long, but we will see.
If they go deep enough.
Well, the fuel loads, they're getting lighter on the fuel as well, so that should start to help them. Let's just see if they can push that deep into the race on the soft tyres. As Calamies and Maliki were pretty close there, and Calamies has gone through, and he's gone up into fourth place on the entry of Ascari. As Rietveld comes round, Rietveld's into pit lane now, as Dion Kostadinov goes up into second place. So Rietveld's in. He has been released. Kostadinov now, let's see what sort of lap times he can put in. Away Jeffrey Rietveld goes. Lebert goes through. Where is Ivar Calamies? This is going to be close between the GT Omega and Precision Motorsports. And Calamies has got him. He has indeed. Calamies has got him. So Rietveld in all that battling as well. And Calamies got that undercut. And he stays in front of Marcel van der Linden as well. That's worked for Jeffrey Rietveld. So the GT Omega slots into a good gap. 1.2 seconds behind Calamies.
Yeah, I think the outlap there for Calames was absolutely crucial. He set the fastest second and the fastest third sector on that lap alone, and he's going to, hopefully, we'll have to keep an eye on him if he's going to go purple across this entire lap and set another fast one. But Ivar Calames going absolutely quickly again and puts himself up in front of Jeffrey Rietveld for what we would assume is possibly a third or maybe even a second, dependent on the positioning of Dejan Kostanov.
Yeah, so race leader Boniface is going through Parabolica now. Comes through Parabolica and he will continue on, does he? He does indeed. Konstantinov, he is coming into Parabolica now. What's he up to? We're on lap 38. Is he going for a fresh set of tyres or will he carry on? He dives in. Dejan Konstantinov dives into pit lane from second place. Now, how quickly he can get in and out of pit stops in relation to Calames and Rietveld. Hits his box. Calames is through Parabolica. Calames is coming over the start-finish line now.
This is Calames.
And he's got him. So Calames has got him. And Kostanov's away. Where's Rietveld?
Rieveld's through.
Rietveld through as well. So both of them are through. Calames is through. Rietveld's through. Kostanov has come out. 1.6 seconds behind Jeffrey Rietveld. So that's not quite worked for the Cloud 7 Networks driver there. But if his pace is as strong as it was towards the end of that previous stint, Kostanov will start to close on Rietveld.
Yeah, that was very good though for Calames to have made the decision to pit early, earlier than usual, or earlier than some of the other drivers, and it's worked out absolutely brilliantly for him. And his last lap was a 1:23.591 in comparison to Bono Huis's 1:24.612, and considering Bono Huis did a very quick lap on the previous lap, some of the drivers tend to do a very quick lap and then pit, so we'll have to keep an eye on what Huis is going to do. Is he going to cover off some of the other drivers? He is definitely going to. Yep, he enters the pit lane. Is Liebherr going to as well? Well, Lieber's quite a long way back, to be honest, but we need to keep an eye on Ivar Calames now and how far he will be behind Bono Huis when Huis exits the pit lane.
Huis is in his box now, and Ivar Calames is just entering Parabolica. Away goes Huis, and he's off the pit lane speed limiter now. Where's Calames? Exit of Parabolica. So that's a nice, healthy advantage still for Bono Huis. That's worked nicely for him. And he comes back into the race lead into turn 1. As Liebherr is currently in second, yet to make his stop. And Calames is in third. It's about 5.4 seconds behind is Ivar Calames to Bono Huis.
Just showing that the Precision Boys are excellent, absolutely excellent at creating a race strategy that works. And I mean, Liebherr is in there and is in second position. He is our pole sitter though, and I think he's yet to pit again. We've had yet another DNF, and that was Marek Godek. That is to add to an increasingly long list, which is actually
incredible.
It's 11. It's 10 long at the moment. It's the DNF list. That's a very long list.
Incredible. That's the massive attrition rate. Obviously, it's a pretty high speed circuit. You've got to get a lot of these corners right, but you've got to carry a lot of speed to create the lap time, and there is a large margin for error due to the fact that on the edge of the track, there's no runoffs like most new tracks. There's grass, and there is also the anti-cuts, so you're anywhere near those, and the gravel traps as well, and they will bite you, and it's bitten a lot of these drivers here today.
It has indeed. One person that's yet to bite though is obviously Bono Huis with a 3.9 second lead over Samuel Liebherr.
And just as you said that,
Liebherr has actually dived into pits, yeah. So it's a Precision 1-2 once again.
It certainly is. He hits his box. Where's Jack Keithy? Jack Keithy will also get Samuel Liebherr. So Liebherr and Maliki are going to be quite close together, I believe. So coming out of the final corner, out of Parabolica, Liebherr is away. Maliki's chasing him down, and yet there's about 4 seconds between the pair of those two teammates in 6th and 7th for Twister Racing. Now it's come down a little bit now. It's actually about 3 seconds, so that's a nice little healthy margin for Twister to not worry too much about. And Van der Linden, he's sitting in 8th place with Simoncic in 9th and Pushka in 10th. So the go speeds are at the back end of the top 10. And the Biocross Positive sim racing driver, Marcel van der Linden, is doing a very good job. He's sitting in 8th place.
Yeah, I like how before the race, though, you did bring up that we were going to have quite a bit of inter-team battle here, and you've got two Precisions leading. You've got GT Omegas not really too far away from each other, and you've got two Twisters, again, not very far away from each other. You've obviously got the two Ghost Speeds, not very far away from each other. Two JSPs, not very far away from each other. And then you've got the the odd outcast sitting up there like Marcel van der Linden doing an excellent job to put it up there, and obviously Dejan Kostadinov up into 4th position in his Crown 7 Netrex, looking a bit out of position in comparison to the other cars around him, but excellent stuff there for Dejan Kostadinov.
Yeah, Dean Kostadinov showing a great turn of pace at the moment. Really superb. Fast up the race, 23.1 from Bono Cuisse, 23.5 for Calamies, 23.4 from Rietveld, 23.4 from Kostadinov. So it just goes to reflect on the pace that he has had today. And Dean Kostadinov is the man of the moment, as Keithley is pushing on. Lebert is 5.6 seconds back and not really threatening at the moment, as we are on lap 42.
Yeah, we've had quite a lot in this race so far, quite a lot of overtaking, quite a lot of changes throughout the field. Bono Cuisse currently lapping the fastest at the moment, as you said, a 23.101, and he's done the fastest first sector once again, so Cuisse is on top form. And well, we'll just have to wait and see how this plays out, because we have got a good 12 laps remaining. And in stuff like this, you know, with sim racing and throughout the grid, there is absolutely everything that can happen. I couldn't even write you a list long enough to explain to the amount of things that are going to happen over the next few laps. Dejan Kostadinov, though, speaking of things happening, has dropped back. No, it's just my timing. It's just my timing. Take that back. He's just dropping back for no good reason. He's on track, though.
Yeah, I think that's just the timing
it's just updated. He's put back into 4th. I was just really shocked about that.
Yeah, it's the timing loop's been a little bit off today, but he's getting quite close actually to Rietveld again. So he's dragging his pace out again. So this Crown 7 Netrex car today is working superbly well, and into what will be the last 10 laps of the race, we could have a great scrap between Calamies, Rietveld, and Kostadinov again, because Rietveld's times have been slightly quicker than what Calamies has been doing, and he's starting to reel him in as well. And Kostadinov has been faster than Rietveld on the last lap as well. Yeah, so he could be game on for the for 2 podium spots rather than just 1.
Ooh, we do love a good fight for the podium, because podiums are quite important. Every driver wants to finish on the podium, at least. Every driver I think really wants to go for the win, but a podium will do. And we do tend to see some quite tough fights for a podium position, with drivers desperately hanging on and other drivers desperately wanting to push their way through. So if that's the case, we are going to have a very interesting duel over the next 12 laps.
We most certainly are, and it's Rietveld at the moment that is just trying to get that gap down to Calamies. It's kind of stabilised at the moment. I think this will really shake out once the tyre wear starts to kick in, and then it will be dependent on driving style and cars to see, and setups to see just how they cope with the back end of the race and the tyre wear that is currently happening on these cars. But definitely at the moment, Rietveld, he's pushing hard, and Kostadinov's just kind of hit that moment of stalling out at 2 seconds behind Rietveld.
Yeah, he had a really awkward moment going into the first chicane. The back stepped out of him under braking just a little bit, held onto it quite nicely, but you can tell that Kostadinov is absolutely pushing for it at the moment. He really wants this podium position. And as something that we have seen over previous stints, that if he just takes a little bit of a breather through the earlier part, just concentrate on maintaining the gap. When everyone else's tyre wear has gone off, he still has it and he can still push. And we do have enough time in the race for that to happen. But Rietveld is absolutely closing in on Calamies at the moment. Look at those two. This is for P2 and P3.
Yeah, he's had a nice run through Ascari there as well, and it stayed at exactly 0.8 of a second between Calamies and Rietveld. Rietveld on his return to Formula Sim Racing, showing that he's lost absolutely no pace at all, as currently he's on for a podium on his return for GT Omega, so working nicely for him, as the gap at the front is at 8 seconds to Bono Cuisse, and Calamies and Rietveld are underneath a second, as on the brake .7 seconds splits Rietveld and Kostadinov.
Yep, but that is going to be closing up ever so slightly lap after lap. Boniface, though, doesn't have to worry about any of these gap issues. I mean, he's comfortably sitting in P1 at 8.4 seconds to his teammate Ivar Calames and going for his 4th win in a row and his 7th win of the season, just to continue this championship charge, this amazing drive that Boniface has had. A lot of time, though, until that checkered flag comes out, and a lot of overtaking that we are probably going to see. We've got drivers closing up on drivers. Even you got Marcel van der Linden having a little closing up session on Edouard Malorki, and there's only 1.2 seconds between the two of them. And to be fair, Simoncic isn't that far behind Malorki, so isn't that far behind van der Linden, so we're going to have probably a close duel there as well towards the end of the race.
Yeah, and Kastanov's pace has picked up once again as well, because it was at 1.7 seconds. It's now only 1.3 to Rietveld, so his pace has particularly picked up at the moment, as the gap between Calames and Rietveld is out at 1.1. So Rietveld may have just cooked his tyres a little too early there on lap 46, while Calames is just trying to control everything that he's doing, and Kastanov's the one drafting up to them.
Kastanov looking like the fairly strong driver at this present moment in time, with the gap between the two of them 1.3. It's fluctuating quite a lot with who's doing the good times when. The gap between Rietveld and Calames 1.1 seconds, as you alluded to earlier, but we do have plenty of time left, and I do think that Calames has got I think that Kastanov has got more in that car than he's showing at the moment. And he's just trying to push it around. I actually think that Calames does have a bit more in that car, and he's just controlling these two. There's no way that Calames is going to close in the gap to Huis, but he doesn't want to overcook his tyres. I assume these guys possibly on the softer compound tyre at this present moment in time, and if you overcook them too early, that can cost you quite a bit throughout the race. No, they could be on the harder compound tyre. It could just be me going a bit off.
They're on the soft.
They are on the start, yeah. I would assume so, looking at the timings, considering they have been very quick on this stint. But it's all about conserving the tyres until the end of the race. You don't want them having to drop off on you on the final lap, as we've seen from Kastanov getting a big whack of overstay coming out of the corner. But you don't want to have that, where on the last lap you've got people behind you who are really, really close, and there's absolutely nothing you can do to defend them because you just don't have any tyres left, and all you've got to do is finish off the lap.
Exactly, Kastanov close to 7 tenths, but then at that moment it was out to a second again, so he is definitely pushing in that Crown 7 Netrex, and it's all a case of Rietveld and Calames at the moment. That gap's at 1.3, so Calames is doing everything that he needs to, as Lewis said there before, simply just controlling the gap, whereas I think Rietveld's going to start looking in his mirrors rather than forwards, because Kastanov's back to 8 tenths off.
Yeah, this is looking like a nice juicy duel, though, for later on in the race. Dejan Kostadinov closes in that gap 2.8 of a second through the second sector split. So, as said, it is fluctuating quite a bit over the last few laps, but with not very long left to go, how much more can these drivers actually push? Because
Sorry, I'll tell you something else as well. The Biocross Positive Sim Racing could be on for one of their best results ever, because Marcel van der Linden is closing on Maliki, which actually stabilised at about 7 tenths, but that Biocross Positive Sim Racing car is very, very quick, and Marcel van der Linden is doing a good job, and he's getting close to Maliki. And Simoncic is only 1.1 second behind, so we could have a bit of a scrap going on for 7th place here as well, depending on how close Marcel van der Linden can get. But he's doing a great job for Biocross at the moment, is Marcel van der Linden. And he's getting ever closer to him, with Simoncic in 9th place. Not too far off. He is getting close. And under braking, van der Linden's close right up to Maliki. 4 tenths. Now, is he in the slipstream to go towards down to the Delaroche chicane and make an impression? I don't think he is just yet, but this is great work.
Yeah, absolutely fantastic. It doesn't look like he's going to be making a move anytime soon, and it is nice to see a fairly different car approaching these points positions. It's always nice to have a high finish for some of these drivers, especially after such a tough drive that some of them have had. But that Positive Sim Racing car is looking absolutely excellent today.
There's only a second between Ivar Calames and Jeffrey Rietveld, but there's only 0.4 of a second between Rietveld and Kostadanov. Kostaдаnov's pace has really picked up again, and Rietveld's trying to shake that slipstream already to make sure that he does not get close enough down into turn 1. This Crown 7 Netrex car, it's gaining speed. Is it ever gaining speed? On the brakes just before the 100-metre board. And into turn 1, Rietveld's very deep. Kostadanov got a cleaner line. Better exit though for Rietveld. The gap is still a second between Calamies and Rietveld. But Kostadanov is really, really pressuring the back of this GT Omega car. Going down to the Della Roggia again. Can't make an impression. So we can go through the Lesmos. The next time I'll have any sort of... Oh,
Knaz's gone wide. Yeah.
He's got to do all that work again now. He's got to push on and do that work again. But he ran wide at the Roggia chicane. Oh, Rietveld, and he ran wide out of Lesmo 1 as well there. So he's pushing. He's pushing very hard. Second still splits them to Calamies to Rietveld. Kostadanov's now back to 0.6, but getting closer again. Back we go. Oh, there we go. Van der Linden's made a move on Maliki. Van der Linden into 7th place. He's got past Maliki, going down towards the Della Roggia chicane. So the Bicross Positive Sim Racing is into 7th place, and Simoncic is getting close to Maliki now as well.
Yeah, that's always nice to see. Dejan Kostadanov, though, absolutely closed into the back of Rietveld. Once again, we have 4 laps remaining of this race. Not very long to go. And I love this situation because I have got absolutely no idea who's going to be our 2 podium sitters. It's excellent.
Look at this. Kostanov's up to the back of Rietveld already. He's pulled to the right-hand side, going down towards the Rettifilio. On the brakes, pulls left. Got to go careful under braking once again. To the outside, he's trying to defend his Rietveld, gone way too deep. Kostanov's going to have the exit speed. No, he's not, because Rietveld's on the power so early. Controlled the power slide that he got on. Kostanov's going to go to the outside. Rietveld defending. He's on the grass. Oh, it's like Alonso and Vettel, that. He's on the grass and under braking. Rietveld holds on. And he's gone deep. But he's got it back again. Good work from Rietveld. He's got that job done. This is allowing Calamies to escape. It's 1.8 seconds. This is working nicely for Ivar Calamies. Rietveld is trying to hold on to dear life to 3rd place, while Maliki and Van der Linden are going side by side into Della Roggia chicane again. So Maliki must have got him back. Oh, he's gone off. And Simoncic has got him as well. Yep, Simoncic has gone through. So Simoncic has gone by Van der Linden. He's going to try and challenge Maliki now. And back towards the front between Kostadanov and Rietveld. It's split by 4/10, going down towards Parabolica.
So few laps to go, so every corner counts for a move, and this is where you start getting the desperation with some of the drives. And with Justin Simoncic, oh, that's it. Simoncic up into 7th position in front of Malorki, and Van der Linden's going to have a little bit of a drive as they head down towards Parabolica. This is going to be an interesting bit.
Yep, Maliki. Oh, here we go again between Rietveld and Kostadanov, and once again they've done exactly the same. It's deja vu, and again Rietveld's got good drive. Got a slap of oversteer, but controlled it. They're side by side. Rietveld has to give room on the outside of Curva Grande. He has given him room. Not much room though. And, oh, he's going to push him. He's pushing him up the inside. On the brakes goes Kostadanov. Oh, they touch. And Kostadanov round. Kostadanov was very, very deep into the corner. Rietveld wasn't going to give it up. It's 6 of one, half of another, because that was no way in hell that they were going to both make it through that corner, and Kostanov's come off worst, and that's probably settled it. Rietveld did everything he could.
Yeah, and that was it was a bit unfortunate, but speaking of someone who's come off a bit worse, is Malorki's dropped back completely from the duel between Van der Linden and Simoncic, so that's gone wrong there for Malorki. Van der Linden up into 8th position.
Yeah, and Van der Linden is trying to close on Simoncic. Simoncic has just had a massive moment in Lesmo 2 as well. This is going to give Van der Linden a run from Lesmo 2 down towards Ascari. Simoncic will defend. Oh no, look at that. With Jink out at the very last moment, under braking. Can he get the job done on the entry of Ascari? No, he can't. Simoncic holds around the outside, but Van der Linden's going to have a better line and better drive out of Ascari as we go down towards Parabolica. It's the inside Van der Linden opts for Parabolica. He's going to have to go break very, very late into Parabolica, and he does go late into Parabolica. Second gear he uses. Exit, can he get the drive? Yes, he can. But this is going to be Simoncic now who gets the drive down towards the first turn, down towards Rettifilio. What's going on towards the front? Kostadanov's got nothing to offer now. He's fallen way back. That's done.
Simoncic and Van der Linden, they are going side by side right now.
Simoncic down into Rettifilio. Van der Linden's late as well. Oh, respectful drive. Oh, that's a big moment there for Simoncic because he went too late under brakes. I don't think Van der Linden actually hit him there. I think Simoncic was simply just trying to control the rear brakes, and Van der Linden 7th.
Yeah, and look at behind them. If you want more action, you've got Pushka going upside Milwaukee as they head down into the Della Roggia chicane. So that's a way. Oh, Pushka's gone for it. He's braking a bit late, but Milwaukee says no. Milwaukee still holds that position. Oh, God. Pushka went a bit wide. You've also got Liebherr and Jack Heathley closing up on each other. So that's going to be a duel for the last few laps. And it's absolutely excellent. We're just having duels throughout the field.
Well, while all this chaos is going on at the moment, Bonnefries has just started the final lap of the race. It's incredible how fast this has gone. Ivar Kalamies has been able to fend off after those two started battling between Rietveld and Kostanov. He's 2.7 seconds down the road. And here we go. This is the final lap for these guys. Rietveld is in third, Kostanov's fourth, Liebherr and Keithley. It's a match on here between Liebherr and Keithley. That's a hell of a defensive line that he's opted for there. And Keithley is going to try to pass Liebherr, and on the brakes. Oh, look at that!
Oh, he's dropped it.
He goes! Oh, he's kept the clutch in. Nice work there for Jack Keithley. He popped the clutch, made sure you kept going. So Keithley's down to 6th, and Liebherr is in 5th place. But Keithley, he got it all run under braking. The rear popped out, popped the clutch in, and got going again just about. As Bonnefries, he's coming up towards Escari. I don't think there's going to be any more movement now. But Liebherr. Now, what's happened between Simoncic and Van der Linden? Simoncic is coming back at Van der Linden now, going down to the Della Roggia chicane.
As is Pushka and Milwaukee. They're going side by side into the Della Roggia. Oh, Milwaukee's dropped it.
Oh, he's done the same. That's basically the same as what we just seen from Jack Keithley, but down at the Della Roggia chicane. But Bonnefries, he's coming through. Parabolica now, and he will win the Italian Grand Prix, and that's 4 wins in a row for Bonnefries. A superb effort. Massive congratulations there to Bonnefries. A wonderful drive from him. Ivar Kalamies gone hard, soft on his tyre compound, and he's come across in 2nd place. Precision Motorsports 1-2. Wonderful drive there. Jeffrey Rietveld on return to FSR has finished in 3rd place. Dion Kostanov with a sterling effort has finished in 4th. Liebherr has fended off from Jack Keithley. He's going to come across in 5th place. Jack Keithley tried, but he couldn't work out for him, and he's 6th. And Van der Linden and Simoncic. This is all over 7th place. And Van der Linden, can he hold it to the line? Can he hold it to the line? This is going to be so close between the pair of them. Can Simoncic get him at the line? This is close. Oh no, he has. Van der Linden got it. Boycross Positive Sim Racing are in 7th. Ghost Speed 8th. Pushka's in 9th, and Malaki's 10th. Zuhite's Carbo is going to be the next one to finish. Both PSR cars are going to finish in 11th and 12th. The Bicross Positive Sim Racing is of Blair Dizzy's closely on Moises Rondon, but Zuhite's Carbo is coming round the final corner now, coming for the line, and Carbo will finish in 11th place. A good job there. And Rondon is trying to hold off from Disney because Disney's getting close to him. I can't believe this is all over 12th place, but nevertheless... Oh, Rondon! Huge oversteer on the entry of Parabolica. Disney, can he get the drive? Oh, he just can't get the power. The rear of the car was shaking everywhere. He couldn't do anything about it. And Rondon has held on, and he is in 12th. Blair Disney 13th.
Well, at least now we can breathe. What a race.
What a race. That was an absolutely superb race. Incredible race.
Yeah, we had some lovely action throughout the field. Quite high attrition though. We had, I think it was 10. Was it 10 the last time we looked? There was 10 non-finishers, but for the 13 that we do have, absolutely superb driving. Duels throughout. The only place we didn't really see a duel was with Bono, but absolutely superb and controlling drive there from Bonnefries. Didn't overpush it at any specific point. Absolutely controlled it, and everyone to finish in the positions they did, well deserved. We saw some absolutely excellent duels.
Unbelievable racing. That is truly one of the best races we had all season. It may not have been for the race lead, but I'd say what the battling throughout the field there was incredible. I think there'll be a few protests going in from some people due to the standard driving, but nevertheless, what an incredible spectacle for everyone to have witnessed that day. And Lewis, I mean, can you think of a better race across the weekend?
No, that was. I mean, to be fair, going into the World Series and the World Trophy, they were okay races. You know, we saw some good duels from some drivers, but this absolutely just tips it off for the weekend. You know, we had it was excellent to watch and a joy to commentate on. So it was very, very enjoyable.
I actually got it wrong. It's not the best position for Marcel van der Linde. He was fifth a few races ago. I just remembered also. But it's still a very, very good result for Biocross Positive Sim Racing. But nevertheless, we have just had the most wonderful race around Monza. And we move on. Of course, we move on. 2 weeks' time. And we'll be going to the even more arguably impressive, or just as impressive track of Suzuka in Japan on the 14th and 15th of September as we come into these autumnal months. And we are looking forward to what will be a fantastic race around Suzuka with not too many races remaining in the season. So we have Suzuka next. So, Lewis, any final thoughts from yourself?
Oh, wow. If that's the way that the race is going to look, then Suzuka will be something to watch. I mean, you've got an excellent circuit there. You've got lots of overtaking opportunities and, clear difference in setup that you can take from it. But Bono Huis is just looking absolutely incredibly strong for the title. But, I mean, for some of the teams in FSR, there's some clear drivers that you could be looking for the next season. We've got some absolutely excellent stars throughout the season that we've just seen. Some of them have really shown themselves in this race, and I think we need to keep an eye on Ghostby, because although me and you said at the beginning of the race that we think they'll be all fine and dandy and sorted, I mean, that race wasn't the best example. We'll just have to wait and see what's going to happen over the next few races. We've got 4 rounds to go, 4 hopefully brilliant races, and obviously it's all going to finish off at Interlagos, one of my favourite circuits, and that will be an absolutely excellent race. But long time to wait until then. Suzuka's going to be one to watch.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. So we'll wrap it up here, and we will say thank you to our race director, Mikko Puumalainen, our cameraman, Jaakko, making an excellent job on getting all those problems resolved in qualifying and having a broadcast up for the race. My co-commentator, Lewis McGlade, thank you very much, and also good job across the entire weekend. And then also myself, Nick Rowlands. We've enjoyed having you all here, and we will see you in 2 weeks' time around Suzuka.